since we are discussing about the client administration part. In the client administration, yesterday we discussed how to create the client. Before that, how to create the logical systems that we discussed. So, along with this concept, there is some profiles and parameter concept. So, profiles and parameter. What is this profiles and parameter concept here? So the profiles contains parameters. The profiles contains the parameter of SAP. So this parameters means in SAP we have so two instances, right? So there are two types of profiles are available in SAP. There are the two types of profiles. One is the default profile, default. Second one is the instance profile. So what is by default profile means all the default settings which will come as part of the installation that will be in the default. That will be in the default profile. In the profile, if there is a parameters are located. That will be there in the default profile here. Right? All the defaults, like default means default client number, default host name, default SID, default instance number, the default. So these all are the default common related things will comes under the so in the default profile. In the instance profile, so all the instance specific settings, all the instance specific parameters. Instance specific means, so we have so two instances are there, right? Yes. One is the ASS instance, then second one is the application server instance. We have the ASS and application server instance related profile. So ASS, all the ASS means message server, NQ server. Message server, NQ server related settings and parameters are available in this area. Then application server related. Application servers means in the application server level. So application server means what? Application server means we have the work process. Application server means we have some other system settings. All are available in these profiles. So now, if you want to do some changes about the work process related parameters, then you need to do the in this profile. Where this profile is exist, where this parameter in this parameter file, where this parameter profile is exist in the instance profiles, it is exist. So you need to do the changes in the instance profile. So suppose if you want to do the default related parameters, then you need to go to the default profile. You need to do the edit. So instance related parameters, you need to do the edit, right? So then you need to do the restart. So is it restart is required or not, right? Here there are the two types of, again, there are two types of profiles and there are the two types of parameters also available here. The types of parameters, there are the two types of parameters here. One is the static parameter. The second one is the dynamic parameter. Static and dynamic parameters here. Static parameter. What does it mean by static parameter? So all these parameters, static parameter means you need to change the parameters in the RG10 transaction code. Then you need to restart the system. Restart the system to affect the values, to affect the changes, whatever the changes you have done, that changes you need to do the restart. But these are the permanent changes. These are the permanent changes. Whatever the parameters you have done it, these are the permanent, right? But so dynamic changes. So dynamic changes, we have to do it in the RG11. But here you no need to restart the system. It will be affected without restart. No need to restart the system. No need to restart the system, right? These all are the only temporary until you restart. Once you restart is done, the changes will back to normal status here. These are the difference between the static and dynamic here, right? So where to change these parameters and values here? RG10 or RG11, we have to do the changes in the systems here. RG10 and RG11, we have to do the changes here. So once you log into the system here, log in with the user ID and password here, go to RG10. RG10 is the mainly for the profiles, right? profiles. So normally, if you don't have the profiles, we have to import the profiles from the, so your operating system level. In that case, go to the utilities, import profiles and off active servers. So here you need to select the profile, which profile you need to do the changes. Normally we do the changes in the, so instance profile only. So there are the two types of profiles you see. One is the default profile and instance profile. In the instance profile, we have the two types of instances. One is the ASCS instance. Second one is the, yeah, the application server related instance profile here. So default profile, all default profile. Suppose if you see what is there in the default profile, select the default profile, go to the extended maintenance. So this is the administration data, administrative data and basic maintenance are the settings. So you no need to change here. Go to the extended maintenance, click on the display button. Here it will display the, so minimum passwords and, so like whatever the default DB host name, DB type, DB server details, and all the default clients and default all the, these are the parameter. These are the parameter values here. All are there here, right? All are there here. So these are the default. Suppose if you go to the instance profile, click on the display mode. Instance related parameters are available here. If you see here, so there are some parameters here. See here. So WP underscore NO underscore dia equal to 6 means dialog or process number is 6 here. Here BTC 4. Here update 1 like that. You have the some parameters are there here. Buffers parameters are there. Suppose I want to increase the dialog or process 6 to 7 or I want to decrease the dialog or process to 5 to 4. Then in this case you need to do the change option here. Then you want to do the changes. Then remove the 5 to 4 to 5, right? Sorry, 6 to 5, you can decrease it, right? If you want to increase, you can increase it. Then after the changes, click on the next button, go back, then to save, then save, then go back again, then activate the profile here. Then profile is saved and activated. But you need to do the restart. For activating the profile, simply you need to have to restart the system here. You have to restart the application server. So which means this is the one of the offline activity which you have to perform. Offline activity means we have to do the system restarts here. When you do the changes, system restart. Why? Because you have done the changes in the RG10. So RG10 means static, permanent. So then definitely you need to do the restart of the system. Definitely you need to do the restart of the SAP system here, right? That's what we have to do it in the systems here. So suppose, so any parameter, suppose if you go to the RG10, then here so select the profile here, extended maintenance, you can do the any parameter changes you can do, but it should be workable changes here. So right. So and also if you don't know, if you know, if you do, so the parameter which you are looking here, it is not there here. Go to the click on the create parameter, then click on the this browse button here. You will see the lot of parameter. There are the 2000 parameters are there in SAP, right? So then suppose you want to change the some particular parameter here, then you remember only something login slash. Then you can select that login slash here, then login slash related parameters, everything will be displayed here. Suppose if you change this parameter, disable the multiple GUI logins with the same account. So disable the password login, fail to user unlock, right? There are the multiple parameters, fail to user unlock here. So so you to automatically user should be unlocked here. Then so then if you use it here, then what will happen if any user is locked, automatically it will be unlocked this one. So there is a parameter value, you kept it here. Just click on the copy, then go back, then copy two times. You need to do the copy, then that will come to the here. Then go back, then save, then go back, then activate the profile, then the profile will be activated, but you have to do the restart in the system, right? Then only the value will be affected. So that is fine, but currently we have 6 and 4 are there. I decrease it to the 5, but where is the value affected here? Still it is showing the 6 only, right? But you need to do the restart of the application server. You need to do the restart of the application server. Then only the value will be affected here, right? So at the same time, yesterday you said like we need to log into the newly created client, but there is a one parameter we have to change it. Then we can log into the newly created client with SAP star and pass is the password. We can log in, right? What is that parameter? Yes, to log into the emergency user, we can just to log in slash, so no underscore automatic underscore the user underscore SAP star star this parameter we have to change it in the system here. This should be 0, then we have to make it to the 1, then the boolean value, then go to the RG10. You cannot change RG11. Why? Because RG11 is only for the dynamic parameters, but this is not the dynamic parameter. See here, if the dynamic parameter means if you want to change any value, suppose if you change this parameter value, there is a change value coming. Change value is coming. Then you can change the value, then switch on, then save it, then the parameter value affected immediately. Why? Because this is the dynamic switchable mode. This is the dynamic switching. Changes are not permanent, will be lost at restart. So this is a dynamic parameter, but not all the parameters are dynamic, not all the parameters are static. So if you want to check, then you can come to here, then enter the parameter name here, parameter name. So just click on the display button. Then if any change button is coming here, then that is called the dynamic parameter. If nothing is coming, only display button is coming means, then that is called the static parameter. That is called the static parameter. This way we can identify which parameter is static and which parameter is dynamic. So just go to the RG11, just enter the parameter name, then click on the display mode, then it will say, it will be displayed the value here. It will be display the value. The current value is 0, right? So if the 0 means SAP star with pass is allowed. Pass is allowed here. So then if it is the 1, then you need to go to the RG10 transaction code, then go to the your default profile or instance profile, extended maintenance, click on the display mode, then check whether this parameter is valid or not. Yes, it is there. It is the 1. 1 means it is the allowed. 0 means it's not allowed. Boolean values here, right? You can change that value here. Here, yesterday, I think 2 days back, someone changed here, right? Old value is the 0. They have changed it to the 1 value. We can change it, then go back, then save it 2 times. You need to copy, then save it. Then you need to activate the parameter here. Go back and activate the parameter here. Copy. So save and activate. We have to do like this here. Then once you've done it, then if you do the restart, then the value will be affected here. The values will be affected here. Now go to the system here. So NW1, we have done the changes here. Now what we can do, if you do the restart of the system here, so the value will be affected in the systems here. The values will be affected in the system here. Right? This is the our NW1 system, right? NW1 system. So then do the restart of the system. Either whole restart, only application server restart, you can do it, restart. Then if you do the restart, their SID ADM, then SID ADM user, we have to do the restarts, right? So if you do the restart, so what will happen? Whatever the sessions are there in the system, whatever the users are there in the system, all will be disconnected. All the sessions will be disconnected. There the 29 sessions are opened by our guys. So there are a lot of users, like a lot of things are, a lot of people are doing practice. But see, application server is down. Then all the session will be disconnected now. All the session will be disconnected now here. So now system is stopped. Now when the system is stopped status here, you will get the hash color, right? When you are starting the system here, then it is in the yellow status, amber status. See, ASCS is started. Message server, NQ servers are started here. Then application server is starting. Dispatcher, IGS, gateway. So this is getting started here. See, now we have only 5 dialogues, then 5 BTC work. Previously we have the 6, now we have only 5. We have increased it. So how this value got impacted, right? So when the system stopped and started, it always refer the parameter values here. Always refer the parameter value. See here, system still trying to connect to the NW1 system. Please wait. Which means System is trying to look the available free so work process here. Here, so only nothing dialog work process are not in the waiting status here. If the dialog work process are waiting status, then definitely it will pick up. So then it is coming. So it is coming slowly. It will come to the wait status. Yes, it's there in the status here. Then immediately you got the screen here. See, immediately you got the SAP screen here. Means you can able to log into the SAP system. You can able to log into the SAP system here now. After the you got the screen here, right? Now you can log in. But initially, right? So you will get the some slowness after the immediate restart. Now, if you go to the SM50, you see here only five, only five dialogues are there. Previously, we have the six are there. Now only five dialogues are there here. Five dialogues are there here. So this is the way we can. So we can adjust it. What is the way? So there is a concept in the SAP that is called the RG10 and RG11. In the RG10 and RG11, we can change the parameter values here. So system settings, parameters means system settings, you can change it here how you want to do. Sir, how can I remember the all the lakhs of parameters? You no need to remember it. So you can go to here, just click on the browse button. You will see the lot of parameters are here. So based upon your requirement, based upon the your business requirement, then you can adjust the related parameter value. You can adjust it. Otherwise, sometimes SAP will tell you which parameter you need to change it, then what is the value, then based on that you can do the respective changes in the systems. Okay, that's what you have to do it in the systems, right? This is the parameter value. Sir, you also changed the SAP star with pass, right? Then we can log into the newly created client with SAP star with pass, right? Yes. So yesterday we created the 100 client, then SAP star, then with the pass, PASS pass, then you can able to log in now, right? You can able to log in now here. You can see PASS pass, but you are unable to log in. You are unable to log in here. So let's see, is there any? So let's see what are the other clients we have here. So normally SAP star with pass will work, right? So someone if the wrongly they have reverted the changes and everything, the value will not be affected. Then again we need to change the parameter value. Again we need to do the, so we need to perform the changes here, right? So if you go to the SEC4 transaction code, I think yesterday we created the 100 client we created, right? Then after that 100 client we created. So let me try to log in 300 client as well. SAP star PASS. So we are unable to log in. So the value is not changed here. Then again, we need to go to the RG10 here, then instance profile or default instance profile. You can check it out. Check first of all default profile. What is the value it is maintained, right? It's a G1 is maintained here, right? Let's change this one to the, so this is the, let's change it to the 0. Now go to the instance profile. Instance profile also, is it maintained? Yes, instance profile also maintained. Default profile is enough to maintain. Why? Because these are the default settings. Then make it 0, right? Make it 0 here. Save it. Go back, right? Go back. So then save. Then so activate the profile parameter here. Then do you want to activate the profile? Then you want to activate the profile parameter and done. Then you need to do the restart again. So now I will do only application server restart. Application server means where we have the work process. Along with the work process, we can have only dispatcher IGS we have. So only I can do the application server related restart here. So then why? Because only application server restart is fine. No need to restart the message server and queue server here, right? So that one you can do the restart now here, right? So when you do this one, whatever the connections are there in the SAP, all will be disconnected. All will be disconnected status here. All will be disconnected status here. See, application server shut down. So which means our SAP system is down here. So it's down now. So here all the work process status is new, especially for the dialog. When you try to log in, so it is connecting status only, which means dispatcher is starting up. It is looking for the available work process here. As soon as the work process is available, it's got status changed, then immediately you will get the SAP screen here. So then after the you done the restart, then go to the 100 client, SAP star with PASS pass, you can log in now. SAP star with pass, you can log into the system. Now see, so previously, why we have not logged in, the parameter value not changed. Now we have changed it, right? Now you are able to log into the system here, right? So which means to log into the newly created client, we need to change the value to 0 from 1, right? So then you can log into the newly created client with SAP star with pass. With SAP star with pass, you can log in. This is called the emergency user activation. Sometimes what happens, all users will be locked, including your user. Everybody users will be locked due to some issues. In that case, then we have to activate the emergency user by changing this parameter value to 0. That time you should know what is parameters, way to change the parameter, whether the restart is required or not for this parameter. We need to check. How to check? In RG10 and RG11, you need to check these things here. If you change the value in the RG11, that is called the dynamic parameter, you need to restart the system. This is a static parameter. You no need to restart the systems here. This is the profiles and parameters concept, right? So here you can change it. Then we have to do the restarts. If the restart doing, then that is the permanent changes. If you are not doing the restart, if the changes, the parameter value can be changeable in RG11. That is called the dynamic parameter. So no need to restart it. It will be affect immediately. The dynamic parameters will be affected immediately here in the systems, right? So that's what it will happen in the systems here. RG10, RG11 are for the system parameter changes in the system. Okay, that's what you have to do it. Some parameters can be changeable, right? So you can go to the, so here you can see there is a change value is coming. Then that is the dynamic switchable. Some parameters, there is no change value here, right? Some parameter, there is no change value. Then there is no value. Then that is not the dynamic parameter. So it means all the parameters are not static. All the parameters are not dynamic here. So how to check it out means go to the RG11, click on the, enter the parameter name and click on the OK button. If the change value is coming, then that is called the dynamic parameter. If the change value is not coming, that is called the static parameters here. Static parameter values here. And that is what we have to do it in the systems. Okay, that is the, so static and dynamic parameter values here. In system level, if you want to do any changes in the system, right? Say some settings, some work process adjustments, some buffers, some memory parameters, something you need to do it. Then go to the parameter values, then select the parameter value, whatever the value you want to change it. So everything you can change it here. If you don't see this one, just click on the create parameter, then browse it and see the available parameters are all are here. Then you can change it here. You can change the whatever the parameter value you want to change it. You can change the all the values to the respective levels. Then restart the save it, restart it, then activate it. That will be activated. Okay, that will happen in the systems. Okay, so this is the parameter values and everything. So any questions, anyone?
Yeah, for that log on no automatic user SAP star parameter, that can be changed from any user that you are capable of logging in as, right?
Yeah,
Does that
any client, one
correct?
time, these are the system wide. If you do the changes in the any client, you can do the changes. But
Okay.
so you can log into the any newly created client, you can log in with the SAP star with pass. It's not specific to the one client, system wide changes.
So is that so? I guess what's confusing me is when you create, say, for example, you create a new client, right? And you log in as SAP star and then you use the password as pass. Is that when you go into the parameters and update the no automatic user SAP star parameter to 0?
Right, right. This parameter value, if you change this parameter value to 0, then only you can able to log into the SAP star with pass. Otherwise, you cannot able to log into the SAP star with the pass.
Well, do you have to do that with because that's kind of contradictory, right? So if I am able to log into a new client that I have created, right? Um, with SAP star and a password, does that mean that the the no automatic user SAP star parameter is already set to 0 at that point?
Yeah, if it's already set to 0, then only you logged into the system. Otherwise,
Right.
you will not
So,
able to log in.
but you would have to do that. So does that mean that in some cases that parameter is already changed by somebody to
Yeah,
0
yeah,
to
yeah.
for you to
Some
allow?
of our colleagues training
Okay,
users,
okay.
yeah, they got changed.
Okay, okay. So that's what I was trying to understand because in some cases you were the way you were explaining it and the way I was understanding it is um you need to create when you create a new client, you should be able to log in as SAP star and pass automatically. But that's not the case unless that parameter is enabled in the
Yes,
first.
yes, yes.
Okay.
Until unless we change that parameter value to 0, then only people will log in. So maybe
Okay,
other batch people already changed it. That's why we are able to log into the that one again.
right.
Reverted back again. Today we changed it. Then we are unable to log in. Again we changed the parameter back to 0. Then we restarted. Then we are able to log into the newly created client with SAP Star with pass.
So when you first install the system, is it by default set to 1?
Yeah, by default it's set to disabled status. Means 1.
Okay. Okay, wonderful. Thank you.
Okay. That's think I think yeah. So apart from that, let me split the